Hello and welcome. My name's Dr. Sedated, and here today we are starting a brand new campaign, Rome 2, Divide et Impera. This is the beta version, 1.3.1. Just recently came out with some couple of updates here. It's a fairly big update. It kind of was more of a focus on specific factions that hadn't really gotten much change recently. A lot of graphic changes, a few mechanic changes, pretty small ones for the most part, but I think factions like Maria here, and I know Bactria, which we will be playing as today, or Diodoti, Diodotoi, however you'd like to pronounce that. These two factions got definitely graphical changes and then some mechanic reforms. I know the Marians got a really big mechanic form change in this 1.3.1 update as I was playing a campaign with them right before this update came out. Either way, we're going to go ahead and get started here. As per usual, we will be playing on hard mode, which is what DEI encourages you to play on, I should say. Just real briefly, if you're not familiar with DEI, it is an overhaul mod for Rome 2. I'd like to say it's the biggest one. It's definitely my favorite. It's a little bit slower paced gameplay, both on the battlefield and the campaign map. If you were looking for a little change of pace, this is a great mod. This completely changes the game, and I genuinely think this game becomes not only playable, as the vanilla version really isn't. It's pretty terrible, but it becomes playable and becomes quite fun. There's a lot more strategy into not only the battles, but the campaign in general. You know, the AI is better, which is a huge change. And there's also a huge graphical refresh. All the units, just about every unit, has a graphic change. All the tile cards are redone, and they are no longer that ancient drawing style. They're the realistic picture of what the unit looks like. And then all the units in game are updated as well. Okay. Anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and wait for this to load, and I'll catch you guys in on the other side.
Although freed from the Seleucid oppression, your newfound independence risks their retribution from the west. The remaining eastern satrapies have little love for their overlord, however, and it may be prudent to wait until they declare their own sovereignties before moving to subjugate them yourself, as your illustrious forebear Alexander once did. However, it is important to maintain good relations with Arachosia to the south. Beware the rise of Parthia. Although they claim succession from the Persian Empire, they descend from the very barbarians who have terrorized the region for centuries. Gather your strength to push westward, and Bactria may yet reclaim the glory of Alexander's empire.
Alright, so there you have it. We actually had a problem coming in. I don't know if you guys had noticed. When I went to launch the campaign, I was actually selected as a Marian, so I had to reload a campaign as Bactria here. Okay, anyways, let's go ahead and get started here. So just a quick view of the map and kind of where we're at. Yeah, so we are on the far eastern side of the map. We actually touched the border of the map. Just quickly what tends to happen here. Can't you do some coloring? I know that there's a way to do drawing on the map. I don't know. I'm not that worried about it, to be honest. Let's get this out of the way too. Maybe it's up here. Yeah, see, I'm not that worried. Now I really want to know how to do it. Anyways. So as Bactria, you do kind of start in a, it's a fairly easy beginning. Very early game is very easy. We start war down here with Harovatis, which just has the one settlement, and it's actually the final piece of the province right here of what is this province of Bactria. So you start off with that, and it's kind of like the initial, you know, getting used to the faction battle. It's pretty easy. We're gonna bum rush them. Usually, not a lot of the bigger factions in here have like this kind of setup where there's an easy fight at the very beginning just to get you started. So we're gonna go ahead and bum rush that right off the bat. Going forward, I've played a little bit of this campaign. I played probably, you know, 10 turns in, not if that, not even 10 turns, but just kind of get a feel of what's going on. So for those of you who don't know, the Seleucid Empire, who kind of sit in this area in Syria and all the way down to, well, I guess they kind of sit here in Mesopotamia, but they have their satrapies that are sitting out in here. They at some point secede from the Seleucids, and then this turns into an absolute war zone. It's very chaotic. There's a bunch of factions that aren't involved with that. There's Parthia and I think Parthava. They're all kind of in this area, and it just turns into, like I said, a war zone. It's just absolute chaos. So we'll see what happens there. That's kind of hard to predict anything. It kind of all goes sideways every time. So jumping in right away here, we will actually start with diplomacy. So like I said, we are at war with Harovatis down south of us, and then Haravia, excuse me, is actually a satrapy of the Seleucids. And I believe they secede for sure, but I think it comes a little bit later. And they have, yeah, okay, so you can see they have a hostile attitude towards the Seleucids, so they break off pretty early. And they can get kind of powerful. I think what usually happens, Parthia takes them out, but either way, they're actually friendly with the area here. But because we're going to be pushing south to Harovatis, Daha, I think I'm actually going to grab a trade agreement with. They usually get taken out pretty quick. Like I said, it gets chaotic here, and the small factions just totally get pushed under the rug. So we're going to squeeze some money out of these guys. Get a trade agreement.
You present honest terms that I accept, and will present.
Well, that's about all we can do right off the bat, I believe. Seleucids are tough diplomacy-wise. They don't really do a lot of trading and talking. They find themselves backed up against a wall pretty quick, and so they act accordingly. Yeah, so with this new 1.3.1 update, there's a bunch of edicts that come in. There are some cool ones in here. A lot of them are just old ones that have been merged together with some minor changes. So like this Promote Hellenism one is a culture influence edict, but it also has some other crazy things in here. So you do get a public order penalty if you have too much presence of foreign cultures. You know, minus 20% tax rate, minus 20% heavy unit recruitment costs. It's a bunch of weird ones in there. It does make it a little cheaper for you to recruit Navy units. Colonization is a giant growth bonus, which is awesome. I'm so glad that they added this one in here. But it does come with quite the penalty of plus 20% increase to the current level of Empire maintenance, which early game isn't a huge deal, but late game that can be pretty devastating. So this one will we will be utilizing pretty early on. And actually, for a matter of fact, we're gonna go ahead and throw that on Transoxania. I'm sorry in advance. I'm gonna be butchering a lot of the names here. My pronunciation is not great, and I know that some of these get a little bit complicated with some like silent letters and, you know, letters that don't sound as they do in the English dictionary. Okay, so colonization is put up there. So just a heads up, this, as you can see right here in the left corner, culture details, Hellenic culture, which is our culture, is 0% in this northern province up here. So that needs to change, like, immediately. We're gonna have a lot of public order problems because of that. Right now, it's -16 to public order because of our lack of culture here. Um, so that also translates down here a little bit. We are not the majority culture. It's mostly Persian, but there's a little bit of catch up down here in Bactria, so we're not too far off from being able to change that. So realistically, we could actually do something to change the culture, which is the one I was just talking about, promote Hellenism. Actually, it's not a bad idea. We might end up changing to that pretty soon here, but we also have another problem in this province, which is the population. The population is tiny. We are lacking any sort of growth. Let's see, pull it up right here. See, the growth rate is 3, which is pretty bad. And it says growth required for building slot points. It's 54. So, I mean, if we kept on track like this, it would take us, I mean, do some really quick maths here, more than 10 turns to get 1 building slot. I think that's just for one point towards a building slot. So we'll actually go ahead and expand one of these real quick here. And I'll kind of show you what I mean. Well, for a temple here, we're going to need the culture conversion. So if you check this out, we are now sitting at 0 population surplus, or building slot points, I guess, and we need 3 in Marconda to upgrade. So we would need to hit 54 3 times. So we need some like 150 growth or whatever. It would take an incredibly long time. So we're gonna go ahead and put this edict down here to kind of boost the growth for a little bit. It does create some public order problems, but we're gonna have public order problems up there regardless. So we're gonna be fighting rebels either way. Might as well get some growth out of it. Okay, so like I said, down here to the south, Harovatis is ripe for the taking. So we're gonna go ahead and get an army ready to go. What I've noticed, this hoplite unit that Bactria starts with is pretty good. So we're gonna go ahead and recruit some of those guys. And while we're on the same talking point for armies, we're gonna go ahead and pop into the character faction screen. So right now, that general is our faction leader, Basilius. And our faction, our house is pretty small at the moment. Sometimes they start with a little bit more going on, but we do have a son. We have an heir. These are our other factions, our other parties within our faction, I guess I should say. And we'll go ahead and get this started right away. So, those of you who don't know the diplomacy situation, you basically want to keep everyone happy, but also keep your influence above theirs. So it's a balance game. Right now we're doing pretty good as far as our influence goes. Respected is a good place to sit. As you can see, right now we're overlooked, and that is because we're at 43% influence. We can reach the next level of influence, which would be this little chunk. If we can get that turned in blue, we won't have as many penalties. Like right now we have political action cost, political incident occurrence, upkeep for armies is plus 1%, which isn't too bad, but we have a -5 diplomacy with all factions. Yeah, respect is really good, obviously. Obviously beloved would be pretty great, but anyways, go ahead and check out the houses that are within our faction, and wow, we got some really good traits here. So green is positive traits. These are ones that will give them loyalty bonuses, so +2 loyalty for every province that brings in more than 5,000 wealth. Let's see what the bad ones are. So for this the noble families, minus 10 loyalty if the party influence is lower than the ruling party's influence. So they're always going to have a minus 10 to their loyalty. And then down here in the Sogdian nobility party, minus 2 loyalty for each barbarian faction which you have established diplomatic treaties. So I believe that it's minus 5? Minus 2, okay, so it's not too bad, but I believe that these guys would be considered barbarians. They're definitely nomads, so I believe that checks out. Anyways, like I said, it will be a juggling game within the diplomacy tab. Okay, so as far as technology goes, I don't want to get logistics. That lets us get the next level of the barracks. Starting out here with this muster field, our options are pretty slim as far as recruitment goes. It is better than a lot of factions that start out. We do have one unit of Hoplites. I don't think we can recruit those Thorough Spears yet. I think that's a later... Yeah, they're not in here as an option. But really, these units all suck. Which makes sense. It's early game. But these Hoplites are not bad. For how bad this says they are, you can see you pay 190 a turn, so they're actually fairly expensive. But they do really well in the early game. So we will be spamming that unit. It is very good considering. Upgrading. Like I said, we do need that culture influence, and the satrap's residence gives us cultural influence and some public order, which we need both of pretty desperately over here. It also gives us +3 rank for dignitaries, and the dignitaries are very useful. Try to get them as quick as we can, so in about 6 turns here we're going to be able to recruit a dignitary, or 2, depending on how much money we have. Okay. So we will be needing some food at some point. I think we're going to go with herding ground, because it gives us a little bit of money in the background as well as food going forward. And this is going to be an agricultural settlement. So we'll go ahead and do that. Just wondering how much I actually want to save, how much money I want to save going forward. Okay. I think I will build one more. Yeah, so this gives us +5 wealth from farming, agriculture, +10 in all, +10% wealth from all commerce. Go ahead and do that as well. Okay. So that's looking pretty good for our first turn. Can I enter diplomacy already? Could recruit a spy. I'd like to save some money here. Because we are going to need to recruit mercenaries to be able to take this first town. We're going to be fighting them, more than likely we're going to be fighting them in their own city here, so they'll have their garrison and whatever army is built up already. So we'll need every advantage we can possibly get, and those elephants are pretty good in the early game, even the small ones. Okay, I think we're set. I feel like I'm forgetting something, but take a quick look in here and see. So they are actually a military ally of Daha, which is interesting. This could get pretty messy because I know Hareva is gonna want this Daha's settlement because it's part of their province. It's the last thing they need for their province. The province is actually named after them. So my guess is they are going to make a mad dash to try to take that town. But we will see. Okay, let's go ahead and end the turn there. Okay, on the other side of the end turn there, nothing really popped up. Orders received, the governor of this province will carry an edict. Great, so colonization is in effect, and you can see -6 has gone in. -6 public order from the edict, the colonization edict. And that is destroying public order there. So that's going to get unmanageable fairly quick here. As you can see, I mean, we're at -16 down here in Bactria, and we don't have that edict in place, and the culture is much more in our favor down here. So we're doomed for public order problems, regardless. Okay, so before, well, I think, yeah, we'll go ahead and get these elephants now, because we get different mercenaries down here. We don't. Okay, it's part of the same province, so I guess that makes sense. I was kind of hoping I could see what was in that town before I pushed all the way up. Okay. 11-man garrison of 6 guys. There's only 4 units in there, though. I don't really know what's going on there. So we want to sit just outside their reinforcement range of the settlement there. That should do it. Okay. So Parthia has declared war on these guys up here. Is that part of their province? It's not. Kath is Sakaruka. Where's that? Okay. Anyways. So first fighting has begun over here. We'll go ahead and pop into the character screen here. So this guy can now seek a spouse. There's some extra loyalty there. Loyalty's not great in this house, so I think we'll actually go ahead and send an early diplomat out. The question is whether or not we want to be friendly with the Seleucids right off the bat here, or if we're going to side against them and their satrapies that stick with them. It's kind of a question that all the factions over here that aren't Seleucid related have to make, is which side of the Seleucid War are you joining? So we'll go ahead and we'll send a diplomat. I'm not too worried about it either way. There's a little bit of time before that we have to make that decision, and whatever happens in that what is that called? What action I just did? What is that called? That diplomat. The diplomatic action that we just did isn't going to change too much as of right now. Okay, let's go ahead and turn there. I think we're all set. Right. We do have some money sitting around, but like I said, it would be nice to save some money here in case we need to hire more mercenaries. Okay. So they have come out to attack us, which is great. That is actually awesome news. So I noticed this in the quick 10-turn test trial that I did with Bactria, is these Harovatis they just don't seem to be included in any of the auto-resolve standings. So as you can see, it says that they're like 70% chance to win this, 80% chance that they're going to win this fight in the auto-resolve, but we have more units. Our units can, form up in the phalanx. We have elephants. I don't understand why the auto-resolve gives us, like, no chance of winning this, but this should be an easy fight for the most part. We have enough Harovatis there to be able to form a line and cover all of their infantry units. in a one-on-one, you know what I mean? So one Harovatis unit per melee unit he has there, and one of those units is his general, which he probably won't even bring out to the front initially. Let's not get those guys in Harovatis just yet, or phalanx just yet. So do have these Javi boys. Gonna get Cav out on the flanks there. Let's take these guys all off of fire at will. Elephants I'm not too worried about being on fire at will. Okay, let's get started here. So he does have one unit of archers, but they're pretty shitty archers, and the units that I'm worried about losing have armor. I'll just keep the elephants out of the fight here. I'll start flanking out with some of these units. It would be nice if we can take that cav unit out. We have complete control of this battle. Push up here. Let's back up the general so their archers aren't shooting at me. Go ahead and form up into phalanx there. Okay, so they're going to sit back and shoot arrows at us, so we're going to go ahead and move up. Elephants on the move. Quick showing of some of the units we have here. So these are Harovatis. Citizen Harovatis, but you can see they look pretty good for, you know, starting level Harovatis. This is our general, Basilius. And his, what are they called? Hippeus? Okay, well they're just called the Noble Cav, but it is a heavy shot Cav unit. And then we have some of our, Jav Cav over here. Okay. So I think we're gonna go ahead and just rush our Javi boys out. Worst thing that happens here with the Javs is that the Cav comes out after us, which would be nice actually, because then I could run them down. So elephants are actually getting some kills here. Usually the archers on top of the elephants don't do much, but they're actually doing pretty well. They have 16 kills already, and they're shooting down, you know, these are good. These are like shock infantry, basically. 2 units of it, so we're gonna have to make sure we don't let them get on our flanks there. It's kind of what we're gonna use our javelins for at some point here. Actually, you know what? Let's go ahead and move up. Start throwing some spears on top of their axemen there. Let's put you guys in skirmish mode. Notice that if you put your guys in skirmish mode, your missile units, they has a less likely chance of trying to run you down. Usually they tend to ignore you. Oops, I don't know what I just did, but trying to run away from me. Let's go ahead and get in here with this Jav Gav and start throwing some javelins. This Jav seems to not be able to throw on the run. They can only throw when they're standing still and facing at the enemy. They're starting to get a flank over there, but I'm not too worried about it just yet. Okay, they're charging their cav out at mine. Okay, they're about to get charged by the shot cav. Yeah. It should be pretty devastating for them. You can see my general has 19, 20 kills already. Go ahead and pop an Inspire there, get some extra damage going. Yeah, let's go ahead and pull our general out of there. Let's get the elephants moving in here. Get another charge in if we can. Get our javelins to start throwing some stuff over there. Their general.
One of our units has used all its ammunition.
Okay, their javelin cav. It looks like they're planning on doing some sort of rear charge here. Let's go ahead and charge the elephants out and try to get them to combat the jav cav. They're already on pretty low morale, so my guess is they're gonna run pretty quick here.
One of our units has used all its ammunition.
Okay, let's get the general out of there, please. Go ahead and reform. Get our Jav Gav to start throwing some spears over there. Elephants made pretty quick work of those guys. We actually do want to be running down some of those units that are
The men are wavering.
crowding. To get the Jav Gav right behind the general again. Throw another volley if we can. One charge into the archers, and then we can farm them up. Try to go ahead and throw some spears into their backs, please. Okay, looking good. Alright, so those are our javelins.
The battle is
We're making a sprint. That's just fine. Okay, I do like the way this is looking.
Commander.
10 units left in there. 70 there. Keep our general out of the rest of the fight here. We don't want to lose him. He's already kind of, he's already taken some hits, so. Okay, now let's just run down as many guys as we can. As anyone who survives this battle.
Enemy general is
Okay, general's dead, so that unit is going to be deleted off the campaign map. So we just gotta chase down the rest of these units. We try to make sure this army is completely destroyed, so that when we go to fight the garrison, there's nothing else. There's not another, you know, unit there to recruit any more guys to help defend their garrison. Or defend their settlement, I guess. Oh, looks good. Their Cav got away with a little bit of guys, but not very many. I have a hard time believing that they're gonna have enough to keep that unit alive. Overall, pretty good. Pretty good battle. Our guys did get flanked a little bit there. That'll happen a little less once we have more. We'll have some. Um, I mean, what is the word? Some infantry on the flanks of our hoplite line to counteract anyone trying to, flank on the corners. At some point here, we'll actually probably end up hiring these same axemen that they have. These guys do pretty good on the flanks. They have no armor and their melee defense is pretty bad. So if they get into head-on-head combat with a pretty good unit, they get shredded. Or if they're taking missile fire, they get shredded. They're not good units at all. They don't have very good morale either. I try to steer away from them as soon as I can, but they do pretty good for what we'll be using them for, which is just holding the flanks. And, usually what happens is, you kind of saw it, the AI likes to attack the very end of the hoplite line, and then you can just come on behind with the battle axe unit. And then you're flanking on them. Okay, so we'll go ahead and ransom. We'll get some free money there. It looks like it did recover a unit for them. I think that may have just been them recruiting in general. Nice, okay. Diplomat has returned with a generous tribute, so our diplomacy action with this Lucas has gone well. Yeah, so he just hired a new general. And there are no more mercenaries to recruit. That's rough. Let's go ahead and attack their town. Let's come back to that. We're gonna figure out how we want to fight that. I was kind of hoping some mercenaries would be up for hire. That would help a lot. Okay. What else happened this turn? Not much, huh? Unseasonal conditions and that diplomacy mission. Huh. Okay. Yeah, not too much to talk about there. Let's see if there's anything else in here that I could be doing. I could get this guy a wife. I'm not too worried about it. I'm not trace this guy have going on. Okay. I mean, not too worried about it. Okay, so this probably has this has 2 turns before we start getting some rebels up there. Let's go ahead and do this fight. Putting it off because it's not a great fight. Not something I'm super happy to get into. I mean, this should be an easy win. Yeah, this should be an easy win. Their general cav could be concerning depending on how they use them. Looks like they had like half cataphracts. Really heavy cav. But if we can get them to charge the hoplite line, it should be no problem at all. They do have quite a few missile units. If we can get a better weather condition up here resist, which we won't. Of course, let's try. We're in Bactria. What'd you expect? Okay, from the side line there. I would actually like to get these guys on the outside. Okay, they really don't want to listen to me. That's okay. They really does love to attack the units on the end of the line. So if we had the units on the outside there. Can you back up a little bit? Okay, that's fine. Let's see. We're kind of on a downslope here. Let's actually warm up here. Okay. Should be a pretty similar battle to the one we just did. They're going to be somewhere over here. And their reinforcements are coming from behind us. My guess is he goes straight to the rest of his army and just forms up with them. A lot of times when when this kind of reinforcement happens, it's just a turn unit. I'll go try to chase him down, but that's usually because I have the cav to do it. I really don't have the cav to do it. We would win a fight. Yeah, we would probably win a fight between our two and his, but it's not worth the casualties we'll take on that. Like I said, that's a pretty good cav unit that he has. Pretty heavily armored. So we're going to try to avoid that. Alright, so we're definitely outnumbered. That wasn't already obvious enough. I think what we're going to do is form the line in these trees here, because he's going to be shooting some arrows at us pretty soon here. Man, this is going to be tough. As far as his units go, they're all pretty bad. I know that he has one unit of Eastern Spears. Militia. I think the Eastern Spears are sitting off to the side. You just can't see them right now, but they're actually a pretty decent unit. I say decent. They're just better than anything else they have, really, is what it comes down to.
We have discovered the enemy's hidden units. We have discovered the enemy's hidden units.
Yeah, there they are, shooting. They're not charging, are they? Oh, they are. Okay. Oops. Sorry, I had a unit selected I didn't really want selected at the time. Okay, let's go ahead and slow it down here. That off, right, we're gonna turn off these javelins as well. Eastern town folk, we can hit with the elephants pretty early on here. Okay, they have a full flank going over here. Let's go ahead and hit those guys with the javelin, or the general cav. In the meantime, I'll send the jav cav to go take out some archers in the backfield. Let's get those javelins up so we can start throwing some spears into this militia over here. Reform to face the enemy, please. Okay, townfolk are out of the fight. Let's go ahead and get the elephants in the fight early here. You're prone to these archers that are over here. Some townfolk coming in. It's fine. Go ahead and pop some abilities here. The javelins are ready to start throwing. Let's get the elephants out of that fight. They're fighting spearmen. I was kind of hoping for a little bit more of a morale hit on those spearmen. As soon as those elephants are out, we'll start throwing some spears into them. Or some javelins, I guess. Okay, that looks good. Let's get those guys out of there. We'll try to get a hit on their archers here. See if we can't hit their jav cav that joined the fight there. Those foreseeable, man, they're getting absolutely pummeled. Let's get the javelins out of there, the jav cav out of there. Yeah, we're gonna lose that Harovatis unit. They're gonna end up running out of there pretty soon here. Okay, elephants have joined into this fight here. Let's go ahead and hit that archer unit again. Okay, they formed up just in time. Pull the general out. We are losing morale. The javelin to get into the fight. They're out of ammunition. Okay. It's looking not too bad. Where are their... Where's their horses at? Oh, they're just sitting out in the open. Let's go ahead and give them a charge with the general units. We'll just keep the elephants around. They don't necessarily need to get in the fight, but it does lower morale for units nearby, just to have them there. Pop into the fight real quick, see what it looks like. That's our general unit there, fighting off some of their cav. It says combat is even, which is kind of surprising. Let's get our elephants back in there. And we'll go ahead and pop another rally, why not? This is going really slow over here. You guys should be destroying them. They're probably tired. Yeah, they're winded. Okay, he's pulling his cav out, so let's go ahead and pull our general out. These townfolk, they are holding it strong, man. Let's get the elephants out the other side there. Yeah, we have won this fight. Let's go ahead and get these Harovatis outside. Get them formed up to for flank on the general, enemy general. Elephant's gonna come in behind the jab cav, get a good charge. Do we have any more units that are coming back to fight? No. I think we actually have everyone on the field still, which is pretty impressive there. It's actually incredible that these elephants are full health still. Your units just don't have enough damage to really do anything here. Let's get some arrows thrown in on that fight there. Ah, oh, no, dude, no. Fuck. Okay, well, it is what it is, I guess. God, right before the end of the fight, too, man. I knew I should have kept him out. Oh, well. Either way, resounding victory. Because that was their last settlement, I'm less worried about the losses we took. God, that really sucks. Okay, I'm gonna meet you guys out on the other side. Okay, so we're gonna occupy the settlement here. That's right, Sargai died. Not good. I think this is our new king. Let's go ahead and put him in the army. Okay, son comes of age, right? Yeah, so guy that didn't exist earlier is now. 7 to 33. Wow, this is a good guy to just kind of come out of the blue. Let's get him married because we're gonna need some kids going on there. Okay, so this guy Huh. Who is this then? This lady came out of nowhere? This gonna do leader, right? Marriage. Okay, I just did that one. Personality report, Basilius, who is now dead. Very sad. We'll destroy that. We don't need it. And we'll convert the town center. Okay, we are going to be disbanding these elephants. They're way too expensive to keep on the roster, especially because we don't really have a target right away. There's no reason for us to keep them for now. Taranka. Okay, cool. So we should have some new diplomacy options here. Taranka we could potentially trade with. They're not going to take it. Marian's down here.
Welcome, emissary. If you
Okay, so looks like we're actually gonna have 2 more turns until we get a rebellion going on. So it looks like we'll have 2 at the same time. One up in the North Province and then one in Bactria. Yeah, we can't even recruit here. But I think we're all set. We're gonna go back into here and possibly send out, organize some games, but it's expensive, man. Just to help with morale for a little bit, but yeah, I don't know. I am tempted to move that edict because we only have 1, but we have 2 provinces. We can move that edict down to Bactria because it is our main province. It's also going to be making more money for us regardless. It'd be nice to get some culture conversion going here because we didn't make a temple. I think that's what we're going to do here in Campicene. Capicene. As soon as this levy camp's destroyed, we'll probably put a temple in. How many more turns do we have? 4 turns until that satrapy's done. Satrapy residence. Alright. I think we're all done. We do have quite a bit of money in the bank. We'll save it. Will we? Maybe we... Let's actually upgrade this. The capital here in Bactria, we'll go ahead and upgrade that. Then we'll end the turn. Do want to keep some money about us because, like I said, this rebellion's coming pretty soon here, and there's been coming at the same time. So we're gonna want to be able to pop another army up really quickly in one of these provinces, kind of depending on what happens here. They're gonna be a pain in the ass. We're gonna have to go take them out, finish them off. Okay, so first satrapy of the Seleucids has broken off. It's Taranka. Okay, so yeah, so both provinces are going to have a... Okay, so we just got a mission with no reward, but just to take these guys out, which, you know, we were going to do that anyway, so... Just surprised to see that it had no reward. Alright, so mission successful. I wonder, because it's a mission, if we get some influence from that. Kill them, enslave them, we'll ransom them. Centaurs have bubbled up. Which way we want to go? Just kind of wonder where this rebellion's gonna happen. I have a feeling it's gonna be up here. But we will see. Wonder if we took off the taxation, if that would stall. It's not enough to stall a rebellion, but that's okay. We'll be able to deal with it either way. So we'll get some bonus for our spear units here. Number of captives. Yeah, so we'll do this skill defense for spear units. And like I said, we'll get a temple down here. Okay. So they have broken off. I wonder if now they're willing to do a trade. They're still not, huh? Okay. We're all done. Let's go ahead and let's actually put these guys in the patrol stance. So those of you who aren't familiar with patrol stance, it's going to give us some extra public order. It reduces banditry in the area. Upkeep goes down for that army, but it does have a really bad downside of the stance that you take here. It allows enemies, if they were to attack this army while it's in patrol stance, it's automatically an ambush. You can't, you don't get any reinforcements. They can't recruit in this stance. You can't initiate battles in this stance either. So really, it's the only time you want to use this one is when you know that you're completely in the clear. There's no enemies that are going to be able to attack you. You also get a bunch of like you get a bunch of what's it called, penalties to the actual fight. Like you could see here, minus 25% ammunition, minus 12.5% melee defense for all units. So if you were to get attacked, you're gonna get destroyed. Yeah, so you gotta be careful with this one, but it is nice because you can use it with no with no movement left. So you can always just throw your guys into it while they're on the move through your territory. Get some extra bonus to your faction or to the province. So now that we have these guys in patrol stance, doesn't matter, we're still gonna hit 100% or minus 100% public order, minus 100 public order next turn. Okay. Wondering if I do change for this edict is that. Growth rate is bad, huh? I think you get a bad growth rate if your public order is low. It doesn't really say. Okay. Overcrowding, base growth, public order definitely plays a part. Okay. Minus 4%. Okay. That's fine. Let's go ahead and end the turn there. Hey guys, just want to give you a little thanks for watching the video, and I hope you enjoyed it. I did get a little carried away on the recording there. Got about 2 hours worth of gameplay, so I'm gonna have to splice it up into 2 separate episodes. So I just wanted to put a little outro here to give you a thanks and let you know I appreciate you checking out the campaign. And if you're interested, I will be posting up this next episode fairly soon after the first one, so if you're catching it while it's releasing or soon after it's releasing, just wait around for a little bit for that second episode. I do want to give some apologies out for some of the audio there. I'm not sure what's going on. It's picking up some of the fan from my PC, I believe, so I'm going to be working on that. I'm trying to get a little bit more of some clean, clear audio, and we'll see what it looks like. Hopefully, as this campaign goes, we kind of get a better version of our recording. But But anyways, thanks for checking us out, and I hope to see you guys soon here.